driving for me is, as you can probably guess, a very unique feat of its own. Um, I had the opportunity to learn how to drive. I actually have had my learner's permit that expired. I never really took the time to renew it because at the moment it kind of seemed a bit pointless. I didn't need a learner's permit. I wasn't going to suddenly have a license and a usable vehicle in in the time span of a year. So um, the reason for that though is I was working with a group called Voc Rehab. They offered to teach me how to drive, pay for modifying a vehicle for me to use. Well, they wanted to bring someone out, and it was going to cost, you know, a ridiculous amount of money just to have this guy from Georgia come out, pay for his room and board, all that, then pay also for the lessons. I don't even remember the amount anymore, but it was, I remember it being more money than I could spend to have some guy come out, teach me how to use his vehicle, and then they were going to tell me what modifications I needed to drive my vehicle. And I found this to be very unsettling, to be honest. They wanted to have some sort of head brace so I could just bump my head, turn on the vehicle. It's like, you know, I understand that there's some people who need that. There's nothing wrong with that, and I highly support it. But I do enjoy the fact that I have a lot of a lot more ability than many people expect me to have. And a lot of people don't trust me when I say, if you could do it, probably so can I. But they, once again, they didn't trust me. I can't say they didn't trust me. It's they wanted to do things their way because they were a government sponsored organization, group, thing, and they're doing it to cover their ass. So I'll probably edit that out. I swore. So anyways, but it concerns me because I don't like people telling me this is the way you're going to do things, because that's not the way I do things. I'm going to vlog the way I want to. I'm going to walk the way I want to. I'm going to game the way I want to. And, you know, no one in the verse can stop me. That's the way it is. And I have to admit, I get a little bit of a warm fuzzy feeling saying that. I'm a big Firefly fan. Tongue twister. I also have only been up for a couple hours, I will be honest with you, so I always have a bit of a speaking problem, as I mentioned before. Every so often, my brain works faster than my mouth, and so I'll start jumbling words together. And I try not to do that to you guys, but I'm also trying to do this with as little editing as possible, because the more I can do that, the more confident I will become, and hopefully the better vlog you guys will get. So let's see. So once again, with driving, I'd like to do it. It's expensive, it's demanding, and while I'm not saying I'm not up for the challenge, I'm not up to being dictated on how I'm going to drive. I have a wheelchair. I get around just fine with a wheelchair. I've been driving a wheelchair since I was 2.5. Little fun fact and story for you. I was taught how to drive a wheelchair by a stuffed monkey. The story behind that, as my mother would always tell me, is, I know, I'm sitting here smiling, and I don't know, it's one of those nice stories. I like telling stories. I like telling stories about my past, and just some of those things that makes me smile. But when I was 2.5, my mom went and was speaking with the people who were selling me this wheelchair, my very first wheelchair, and she left my stuffed monkey named Rutherford. It was one of those monkeys that You could shove his thumb in his nose or in his mouth or in his ears. Everyone who sees it now tells me it's creepy, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it. It's with a story like this, can you really bring yourself to get rid of something like that? I just can't. But she left the room, and I wanted the monkey. It was my stuffed animal. That was the one thing that I had that was just really attached to. And so I managed to move the wheelchair over to where the monkey was to retrieve said monkey. So when she came back, I was in a different location with Rutherford. So that's kind of one of those cool moments for me. It's to be able to say that, a little bit of determination is what started a lot of this, and I'm pretty confident to say that it's going to be determination that's going to finish it. I notice also I say a lot. Either way. I'll say either way a lot. Right, freeze ray. Be another one of those fun Whedonisms for you that you'll probably hear throughout these vlogs. Right, freeze ray, pretty much meaning get back on track. Freeze ray. But it's really hard to kind of think what else I've done. What else that I haven't yet done? Well, actually, no, that's a great place to go. What have I not done? I don't do roller coasters. I have done roller coasters when I was about 5. I did the little kiddie roller coasters that go around in a circle. That's about it. The moment you start turning me upside down, going in loops, we're done. I've done. I don't do a whole lot of rides simply because a lot of rides they require you to keep you in the seat, and I can't keep me in the seat. So I've done a couple of amusement park rides that have not exactly been the best idea, but they were fun, and obviously I survived it, so that's a good thing. Oh, excuse me, I just belched for you. Just on camera, right there. I also just got done eating a lovely home-cooked breakfast, so it was eggs and toast. I was very happy. Freeze ray, again. So yeah, as I said, I've done a couple rides. I've done the however many story drop where it takes you up to the very top of this tower, and once it hits the top, it just suddenly lets go and you free fall. Yeah, that was fun. But I did it for booze. To be honest with you, I made a deal with a friend of the family. I said, you get me a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice. Sure. It's a little bit of liquid courage afterwards, but it did the job. So I did it. It got me out of my comfort zone. Another thing that I've done is I've actually got to go to Disneyland. Yeah, it was Disneyland in California for a senior trip at the end of high school. Spend 3 days in California. I think it was in Orange County. But we also got to go to Disneyland. We got to spend all night in Disneyland. Just us. And it sucked because we had to stay up all night, and I had hardly gotten any sleep. I went into the little candy store and fell asleep on one of the seats, and all of my friends that were hanging out with me, they just kind of did the same thing. Initially, we didn't want to go because they had already been. They said it wasn't that great. I never went, and initially I was pumped because, I've never been to Disneyland. I gotta go. I've been to Disney World and Epcot Center in Florida, but I've never been to Disneyland. So they initially convinced me that no, we shouldn't go, and we told them we don't want to go. We just want to stay in the room. We're gonna nap, get a little bit of sleep, whatever. And the teacher said, nope, you're coming with us. So we had to go. That's how it works. Got to do 2 rides. It was the Indiana Jones ride and Pirates of the Caribbean, which both I had my friends, kind of doing the mom arm thing, you know, having their arm right across my chest so I don't slide forward. So they keep doing the little dip, sudden drop moments, and it's like, if there's ever going to be anything like that, please, mom arm. I'd appreciate it. So, those are some trivial things for you, some bigger things. I hope to do a lot more. There's always going to be something else that I haven't done. Some of them are really trivial, and I tend to feel really good about myself after I've done them. It's kind of amusing. It makes my old lady laugh hysterically whenever hey, I did this. Okay, and I've never done it before. Okay, and so, oh, my heels are starting to fall asleep. I'm sorry if you guys are getting a little wobbly. So, but I hope to do more. With the doll hobby that I mentioned, I hope to do more with that. Maybe sew clothes for them or something. That may not be the best idea for me, but maybe doing some of the blushing, the face-ups for them, or something of that sort. I've always been very artistically driven. I will always want to do more. Always want to get more involved. The more that I can say I did this on my own, the better off I tend to feel about it. So, but anyways, I think, I have other things I need to get done, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to draw it here. Once again, guys, for those of you who celebrate it in the U.S., have a happy Independence Day. For everyone else in the world who has a chance to watch this, doesn't matter where you live, just have a happy, normal day, For Americans, Independence Day, awesome. For the rest of you, have a happy Monday. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. I'll see you in the next one.